and happy Monday afternoon to you. It's a very nice day outside. Most of us are in the mid to upper 80s at this time, with places in southern Illinois even at the 90-degree mark, and just south of the Ohio River also at 90 degrees. However, it's pretty nasty feeling outside. Our dew points have risen back up into the mid to upper 60s, as well as even the mid 70s in places in Illinois, thanks to our winds, which have turned out of the southerly direction over the last day or so, bringing in that moist and warmth from the Gulf of Mexico. As we take a look at our current sky conditions, you can see that we've developed some fair weather cumulus clouds today, but those aren't going to have anything in the way of precipitation for us as far as development here this afternoon and the evening hours, but there is an enhanced risk for severe weather in place in parts of Iowa and Minnesota today for some storms that will develop later this evening out there, and that threat is mainly for damaging winds. As we take a look at forecast radar, this right here is for 5 p.m. this evening. You can see storms start to develop out in Iowa, or western Iowa, this evening, and in parts of Minnesota, and those will form into a big cluster as we move through the late evening and early overnight hours. You can see by tomorrow morning these storms eventually make their way into Illinois, but as the cold front, this is a weak cold front, and as it pushes east, it's going to be weakening, and so are the storms that are forming along with it. So as we reach tomorrow mid-morning and early afternoon, you can see that most of died off, but as we move in through the afternoon hours, you will also start to see some more development again as the daytime heating and instability really strengthens throughout the afternoon hours. By the evening hours, this is about 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. rather, tomorrow evening, we see storm development up in especially northern Indiana and even some in central Indiana as well, but I really don't think that there's any severe threat along with these storms. The biggest threat would be damaging winds, and I think that threat is also isolated. By early on Wednesday morning, we'll see some more storm development out in western Illinois, and these will form into a little cluster, but will again die off in the early morning hours on Wednesday morning as well. As we move throughout the day on Wednesday, again, we're going to have some of that instability strengthen throughout the day due to the daytime heating, and we'll see some additional storm development throughout the day Wednesday as well. Take a look into Thursday. We're going to have a cold front that's going to be moving through the area. You can see the low-pressure system up here in Canada and the elongated cold front moving through it here, almost kind of attaching to this low down here in the southern plains. But we're going to have that cold front move through the area throughout the day on Thursday, bringing with it some more scattered rain and thunderstorms as well. And this will be more widely in coverage than on Wednesday. And again, there is a slight risk for severe storms that day as well. I'll get into that in just a second. As we take a look at the risk for Tuesday, you see the slight risk put in place here in portions of Wisconsin, Illinois, Iowa, Missouri, and even parts of northeastern Kansas, and that is for damaging winds mainly. Could see some hail as well, but damaging winds are the main threat. Again, as we move into Wednesday, I mentioned there's a slight risk in place for severe weather, and that is also for wind and hail. The tornado threat doesn't look as high at this point, but an isolated tornado or two cannot be ruled out either. As we take a look at our 5-day forecast here, it's going to be a very pleasant week overall. We're going to have scattered storms, like I said, for most of the midweek, but as we get toward the weekend, high pressure builds in on Friday again, and we could see some additional storms on Saturday and Sunday, but models are in disagreement with those right now, so we'll keep an eye on that over the next several days. That's all I have for you today. Check back tomorrow for another update.